So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the parts of the violin. So let's start at the top of the instrument. So this round part we call the scroll. And then this part we call the peg box. And then there's these pieces. No, there's two on each side. These two and these two we call the pegs. And the pegs we use to tune the strings. No, we turn them to tune the strings. So here we have the four strings. Now they're connected here to the pegs. For each peg is connected to one string, and there are four strings on the violin. Now there's the E string is the first one, A string is the second, D string is the third, fourth string is the G string. So the first string is the thinnest one, E string, fourth string is the thickest one. So the strings are connected to the peg. They pass through here to this part we call the nut, and this black part we call the fingerboard. That's where you place your finger to play the notes. And this part is the neck. Now something very important reminder. Now if you're a beginner, if you're starting, never mess with the pegs. No, don't be here messing with the pegs. Don't hold the violin by the pegs. No, always hold by the neck. If you start messing around the pegs, you're gonna get the violin out of tune. So hold by the neck. So continuing, now we'll talk about strings, the fingerboard. There's this part we call the bridge, and then there's this part we call the tailpiece. So the strings are connected to the pegs. They touch here the nut, they touch here the bridge, they connect to the tailpiece. And here on the tailpiece, there's these two screws here. We call these fine tuners, and they're used to tune the strings on the violin. So if you want to tune the strings and want to make a big adjustment, use the pegs. If you want to make a small adjustment to the tune, use the fine tuners. And here on my violin, there's only two on the two top strings. So now this is a good violin, it has a good peg, so I only need fine tuners for these two strings. Some people, they only use fine tuner only on the top string, only the E string. For beginner instruments, usually have fine tuners on all four strings, because usually those instruments, the pegs, they're not very good, so you need fine tuners on all four strings. So I have here tailpiece. The tailpiece is connected here with the button. And if you look, at the violin, there are no nails, no screws, no. Some of the parts they're glued together, some parts they're just fit together, like the strings here. They hold the bridge in place, the tailpiece in place. So here I have the top of the violin. This part we call the top. And these holes we call the F holes because they look like F. And there are some parts inside as well that you probably won't be able to see in the video. There's this sound post inside that helps maintain the top place. There's a sound bar on this side, it's inside the violin. So here's the top, the sides of the violin. There's the back of the violin. For my violin, there are two pieces. They're glued together. Some violins is only one piece. So here we have the chin rest. Now that's where I place my chin. So these are the parts of the violin.